So I've been having a lot of fun with this algo. So this is the original algo. So we're going to do a couple things with it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this was 1, we're going to make it 0. So we're going to see what happens now. Now at this point it's only going long vol. So the portion of the trade that only goes long VXX, which is pretty insane, made 10% over like 7 years. That's pretty good considering it's VXX. So, but that shows that the long volatility part is not important. So let me see. Let me show you some other stuff. So let's understand exactly what this does. So what I did now is I turned off the long vol part, and I'm only doing the short vol part, just to see what it's doing. What it's doing. Okay, so here we can see on the long only portion, most of the returns were in that. So now we're going to take a closer look at what exactly is happening. Alright guys, so the best way to put it, so basically you calculate IV, which is the green, minus HV. So all that the algo does is, if IV, so in this case HV was higher than IV, so it closed the position. But as soon as IV was below, HV was below IV, it reopened it. Okay? And then it closed it when HV crossed above IV. So typically when that happens, it's like a vol spike, I guess. So like as soon as it sees that there's going to be like a vol spike, it kind of closes everything. So as soon as that happens, it closes everything, and then it re-enters. Once HV goes down, it re-enters the IV position. So that's essentially what's happening here. So here you have a realized volatility spike, crosses IV, it closes all positions, and it waits for RV to come back down, and then it reinitiates the position. So there's more stuff to do here. There's more to play with though. And when we're looking at this, you know, if someone's like thinking about going long vol to hedge or whatever, like this is a great sort of way to think about it. So now I've changed some of the code. So I added context.md, which is IV, how they did here, and then I added it here. So now what we're going to do is, if IV is more than, let's say 15, so that's implied vol, we're going to go long. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I made a return, not as much, because you're only going long when IV is above 15. So let's try some other stuff. So one thing I wanted to do was try to see how much I could lever this thing. So XIV, it trades almost like a 3x ETF. So we're going to try to put 400% XIV. Let's see what happens. That's back to the original thing. Let's see. Okay, so the long portion only at 400% of XIV. So you're talking, if XIV is 3%, because XIV is actually probably more than even UPRO, which is a 3x ETF. This is like a 12x. It's like 12x leverage. So compared to the S&P, and I do this because my leverage ratio is around 150% at most, right? Compared to the S&P at most. So I just want to see the limits and stuff. So it actually did surprisingly well, even though it had a 99% drawdown. That's pretty good. And this is just the long portion. Let's see, context.hv is HV. So .hv. So let's see if we can like sort of replicate higher vol instances. 20. Let's see. HV20 is probably like pretty high. So that one didn't work. So because I didn't really think of that one before. So I gotta figure out how to do that. So I think I'm gonna cancel this because the problem is that it only goes long at 20 and then it gets out at 20. So let's cancel that. So let's see, more than or equal to 15. And then at regular leverage, because I had it at 4. So that was a kind of a pointless study, but yeah, it's just showing how to play around with the model here. So you got to add for IV, it's context IMD. For HV, context.hv, context.hv. And then you got to put that in here and play around with it. So I did it now with between less than or equal to 10 or 30. I don't even know that. I guess that just means less than or equal to 30. So IV less than or equal to 30, and you saw the result there. So I've learned a lot of cool stuff. So if you're gonna VIX hedge, buy VIX futures or VXX, it looks like when HV crosses up into IV, that might be the time. And I've learned that my leverage is probably pretty okay. So yeah, I learned a lot. If you guys have any requests, how I can change some parameters here, comment below.